Chapter 4. Lady Craven. In the days that followed, Mary began to get used to her new life. She woke every morning and spent time with Martha, who told stories about her brothers and sisters while she polished the furniture and arranged breakfast. Mary especially loved hearing about Dickon. After breakfast, Mary would go outside alone to play. She would explore the enormous gardens, each day finding a new path and noticing a new flower or bird. "The fresh air suits you," Martha exclaimed one afternoon after Mary had been there a week. Mary had to agree. She had color in her face and felt healthier than ever. She looked very different from the sad, disagreeable young thing Mrs. Medlock had met at the train station. Even her hair shined. Mary's uncle had still not returned from his travel abroad. Mary wondered if he ever would. She also wondered what he would think of her. Perhaps, she thought, he knew he would not like her. Perhaps her father and mother had told him how unfriendly she was. Maybe that was why he stayed away. He probably didn't want to meet her. Meanwhile, Mary kept herself busy looking for the mysterious garden. She still could not find the door, though she walked along the high wall day after day. Ben Weatherstaff had said there was no door. But, she thought, there had to be a door. Her uncle had buried the key. The mystery gave her so much to think about, and made her so curious, that finding the door seemed to be all she cared about. Back in India, Mary hadn't cared about anything. Every evening, while Martha prepared her supper, Mary listened to more of Martha's stories about Dickon and his animal friends of the moor. One evening, Mary got up the courage to ask Martha about the garden. "Why did my uncle hate the garden?" she asked. "It was Lady Craven's garden," Martha explained. "She made it when they were married. They used to go into that garden together and sit for hours in a big tree that had a limb shaped like a seat. They loved that garden so. But one day, Lady Craven fell from the tree when the limb broke off. She was hurt so badly she died the next day. That's why Lord Craven hates the garden so. That's why he's locked it up and doesn't let anyone go in." Mary stared at the fire in her fireplace. What a sad story, she thought. Her uncle must have been crushed when his wife died. The wind howled loudly outside her window, sending a shiver up Mary's back. Suddenly, she heard a strange sound above the howl of the wind. It sounded like the wind, but it wasn't. Mary gasped. It was the sound of someone crying. "Do you hear anyone crying?" she asked Martha. Martha looked away nervously. "No," she answered abruptly. "It's the wind you hear." "But listen," Mary insisted. "It's coming from inside the house, somewhere down one of those long corridors." At that very moment, a gust of wind blew open a door somewhere on the other side of the huge house. The crying sounded even louder. "There," Mary said. "I told you. It is someone crying. It sounds like a child." Martha jumped up and shut the door to Mary's room. "It was the wind," she said sternly. "And if it wasn't, it was probably Betty Butterworth, the kitchen maid. She's had a toothache all day." There was something about the expression on Martha's face that gave her away. Mary knew immediately that she was hiding something.